And okay, that seems to be doing it. Oh boy, I'm doxing myself now. We're gonna get doxed. Um, this is essentially just a test to see how well this will work. Because I kind of want to live stream and just record vlogs through this method here. And so what I'm trying to do now is just to see what it's like, if the internet's going to come in, what the screen looks like, if it'll come in HD or something like that, how my mic sounds over the air, because I see that a lot of people seem to have problems with roboting over Google Hangouts when they don't necessarily have that over other applications. And so I'm just sort of seeing how things work. And not much interesting going on here. I just installed Linux, which getting used to the layout is a little bit weird, but I'm getting used to it in time. The worst thing about this is having to use the terminal, because usually when I install things, what I do is I just go to the .exe, I go to the application's website, I download it, and then I install it. But with this, it's much more convoluted because you have a system of, you go to the terminal and then you have to, pardon me, it's not loading because I assume Google Hangouts is taking out a massive amount of bandwidth and space on my computer. But essentially, if you go over to this thing right here, the terminal, what it'll do is it brings you up to a command prompt looking screen. You have all of this black and then this white text. You type in what you need to type in, and it has all of these different esoteric commands that essentially navigate you around the computer the way a machine would. You're just doing it manually. That's one of the big differences with Linux. And based on what I know, if you have a lot of technical know-how, this can be incredibly useful in order to do weird other things. Now, for me, the advantage is simply that Linux is faster. What I was using beforehand was a Windows 7 operating system with a computer that was designed for Windows XP. A lot of the hardware was not even updated. It was just Windows 7 working on Windows XP. Based on my friend Alex Horatio's assertions, that should not have even been running. It should not have been working at all. And I got frequent crashes. The computer just freaked out over little things. It had to go. And so what I did in place of that was put Linux on. And so far, Linux has been running far faster than even Windows XP did, the Windows operating system this was designed for. So it seems to be the best bet. It's running, rather advanced programs from the looks of it. I'm able to live stream, obviously, and in order to replace Sony Vegas, which, by the way, the reason I put Windows 7 on in the first place was to run Discord in Sony Vegas. Um, I'm using this thing, this free editor that was just on the Linux like App Store type of application. um, it was just sort of sitting there, and it has some good features to it. It's got, these different filters. You got like chroma key and crop and stuff like that. You can put audio on the timeline, you can put video there. This is enough for me to work with in order for me to make the kind of videos that I do. It's sad that I have the loss of TV Simulator and things like that, but I can work with that. If I need to make a video that has TV Simulator, I can easily just do it at my mom's house. In order to edit podcasts, all I need is a comparable video editor that can do stuff with images and Audacity, which I have, which is good. And so I've been just kind of getting used to what this operating system is. So far, it's been better than anything I've ever had on this computer. Oh, don't save. And so I'm pretty excited about what it does. This Hangout stream may or may not come in good. I'm not necessarily betting on it coming in the best or anything, but it's just interesting to get a test out there and to see what it does. And yeah, this is Outlaw. This is Outlaw doing YouTube content on Linux, the greatest operating system of all time. Um, Unironically, this seems to be pretty good from the the time I've spent with it. If I had a better computer, I would probably just absolutely adore this thing, you know? I would probably never go back to Windows. We'll see how it goes, you know? Hopefully hopefully it, doesn't end up shitting on me or just breaking away all of the good things I have to say about it so far because I really love the way it looks, you know, I really love the way everything's set up. The only issue with that is just that I'm learning how to use it, you know, terminals and things like that. Another great thing about this, for some reason, it actually uses the right aspect ratio. On Windows 7, I had this like weird distorted version of 4.3 where it was in 4.3, but it was stretched out to work on my monitor. And so whenever I would take screen caps, it always looked like a giant 4.3 image rather than a 16 by 9 image. But for some reason, for some demented strange reason, on Linux, it comes in 16 by 9 and in HD. I have no idea why. It just does. Um, so I guess it's been able to better utilize my video hardware, of which is just onboard video hardware is what I have. So I'm glad it does that, and I have no idea why. Again, it's just weird. And I can also use background images finally. Right now, I just have this cool Rakugo Shinju background that I really like, but I'd imagine I'd switch it around with different things over time. But it's really great to go on my computer and just see this personalized image because for so long I just went on my computer and I saw Windows 7 copy is not genuine, number, whatever. Do something about this. You are a victim of a crime or something like that. Um, because it knew that the Windows version that I was using was not actual, it was pirated. And so it ended up just having that error message there all the time, and as a result, I was not allowed to put my own background there. And that got really annoying after a while. I didn't feel like I was using my computer, my individual piece of hardware that I go to, that is my home every day. Because the internet, the computer, is kind of like my home. It's where I spend all my time on. And so I want to have a place like that be personalized. I want to have a place like that ooze of myself. And so being able to put a background that represents myself is a key part of that. And for so long on that computer, it just felt like this broken home, this broken down place that's just being held up by boards that are nailed into the windows instead of using real glass, you know? That's what it felt like because the background was just this weird like I've pirated this thing, but it's still kind of working, you know. It felt very ghetto, and so it's good to just have something that feels nice and professional and good. Looking very much forward to where this ends up going.